So here we are at the head office in the Central Coast here of Phaser FPV. We're going to talk to the owner. Let's go and have a look and who is stocking the EkeWill board. This is Reese. This is the operations here. We'll just sneak through, the boys are all working. This is the head office, so if you're going to get one from here, you'll go in the Nerve Centre. This is the head office for the EkeWill Australian distribution. Well, let's talk to the owner and the person involved with all this. Reese, is he working? Yes, he is. Here he is.
Hey,
okay.
How you doing?
Good, Reese. How you going?
Yeah, good, mate.
Well, here we are in. Look, this Reese has kindly let us come and have a chat to him today. He's the distributor, as I said, for the EkeWill Australia, and just talk about your business and how you got involved with EkeWill. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. I've got my COVID beard happening, so excuse that. Yeah, we've been here for about 8 years now. We started with computers, then we got into drones, and now we've gotten into electric PEV vehicles. So we've got unicycles, one wheels, and the new skateboards.
Exactly. Look at this screen, guys. Check this out. Look at this. Look at this
This
screen.
is my workhorse where everything gets done.
Technology-wise, I've not met a man who's on top of everything. Like from drones, this guy's a drone pilot. He's now picked up the one wheel, the unicycles, and just shredding on it. This guy Reese is on top of all this. So if you want to get one of these EkeWills, we'll go through the whole thing in a second. In fact, let's have a look at some of your other things. We'll talk about the EkeWill in detail.
Yeah, so about a year ago we got into the unicycles as well. So we have all these, kind of the whole range basically. So if you're just getting into it, you can spend $1,000, get the kind of the mini IPS.
Wow, look at this, like awesome. A briefcase.
Portable.
It's like a little briefcase. It's incredible.
And then they go up all the way to the big daddies. So
wow.
These ones here, they go for about $3.5.
So someone could come in also, not only test the EkeWill, but also have a look at these as well.
Oh, exactly. And we do even with the EkeWill, we'll do you can do up to a 7-day hire. So if you want to hire for 1 day or 3 days, test them out, up to 3 days, and actually we'll give you the money back. So, $200 hire it for 3 days, and then if you buy it, obviously we'll take that off. That's a good deal.
That is incredible. I had no idea. I didn't know that until I talked to Reese. Let's look at the board now. We'll talk about this. Check it out here. So look at this. This is the brand new. This is it. This is it here. Check it out. Oh my god! I'll go through in detail in a second.
Yeah, one thing I love is these new Planetary gear systems. They're just so smooth and so robust. I mean, they're not going to fail on you.
Incredible. We're going to go through in detail, but I wanted you today to meet Reese. Now, this is the face of Phaser FPV, and this is the place. If you're going to buy something, you've got full customer service, full trial, full, as I said, you can hire them and take them out and then come back, and it's just an incredible place to come up on the Central Coast here. Whereabouts are you?
1 hour north of Sydney, so up in Gosford CBD.
Beautiful. So also you'll ship internationally. We have to get description field below, talk about that, but Australia-wide, it's distribution Australia-wide. Yep, so anywhere.
And come in, visit and try one.
Yep, there you go. So we're going to go through it now. I'll do the full unbox, but I want to just introduce you guys to Reese, and so he's the face of the Australian distribution for EkeWill. This is a place, the right place to come and check it out. And thanks so much for today. That's awesome.
Thanks, Andrew.
Okay, that's great. back YouTube, what is up? We've got a huge unbox today, as you can see on the table here. I was going to cover it up for you guys, but I thought I'll leave it out. You got the thumbnail anyway, so there's no point hiding it. What we got today is the EkeWill GTX 4-wheel drive Planetary gearing. This is the latest and greatest coming from EkeWill. You saw in the corner here my first look at it at Olympic Park. That was the original GTX 4-wheel drive there, and the 2-wheel drives had a more mahogany and darker deck. They've now finally taken feedback from us riders, from a lot of feedback from riders on this, and they've come back with a better and more improved, what I call Mark II version, and I'll go through those differences in a minute now. What it is an all-road, all off-road and all-terrain 4-wheel drive planetary gearing. We're not talking about a lot of money for this. This is it's an incredible price for what you're getting, bang for buck. So let's talk a bit about the history of how it came about. So back about 3.5 years ago, a guy in China, we'll call Mr. X, had a look at the Baja, loved it, wanted to produce a board similar, saw the disadvantages of the belt drive and the big size of it, and wanted to make a more sleeker version, a sort of pocket Swiss knife version that does everything the Baja board does for planetary gearing. So I saw the original CAD drawings, I saw the original specs, and I know this company, EkeWill, were the first company to design this, which is based on the Baja board, but it is actually a very different design as well. Then what happened along the lines, someone bought one, the early versions, and they obviously were popping up on AliExpress, Alibaba. They were just really toys. They were just steel. They weren't even alloy. They were forged. They were like a Kmart piece of junk. You couldn't ride them. They were dangerous. The planetary gearing was so noisy you couldn't even hear yourself talking. The Jack Zoom sort of bought a version of that. That was pretty hopeless. I had to go with that. That was rubbish. Then you sort of had a few companies spin off like EkeWill and a few other ones that are trying to now improve that original version, copying what EkeWill had done in terms of CNC machining and the whole finish of the product. But there's very differences when you look at those, and I'll go through those in a minute. Now, before we move on, what is the Mark II? Well, it is essentially the EkeWill new version with a blonder deck. It's got the 42 inch, a little bit narrower, shorter in length. It's got a different battery setup. We've got a Samsung Q30Q setup, which is a brilliant battery for long range, as well as a lot of, the batteries don't get stressed out like the 30Es coming out of the EkeWill, and those particular batteries was what Evolve are using. They're not that great. This is the best setup. I found all my boards, the 30Qs are by far the best. This is a 10S10P independent switches. I'll talk about in a second. So really, this is the best battery now set up from the original one, and the clearance used to be 3.5 inches, which is a pretty good clearance on these boards. But bear in mind that the 3.5 inch clearance is what the Baja's got, and the EkeWill has got a 3 inch, which is smaller. This had 3.5, but now with the new battery setup and the new configuration, you've got 5.4 inches. You've got a massive clearance under there, which is just incredible. So it by far exceeds that sort of clearance is ridiculous. If you put the 10-inch optional tires, you can get the knobby 10-inch tires. This is the Street Urban crossover tire, which is actually an 8-inch. It's pneumatic. We'll cover that in a second too, why that's different. You'll get another inch, so you're getting 6 inches. You're getting 6.1 inch clearance. Look at that. That's the clearance you'll have on the bigger tires for logs and branches and roots. You need that clearance. This is one of the aspects that people don't think about. I'm not here to sell this. I'm here to actually review it and give you a comparison to what else is out there. And I wouldn't be doing my job right if I didn't explain to you the differences and the benefits and the disadvantages of each of these products. And I'll get them all together one day, and we'll have a look at them together performance-wise. So the blonder deck, the smaller battery, the gearing has been improved, it's been coated, it's been re-refined, less tolerance. The noise on it is really quiet. I'll play them in a minute, you'll hear them. And also where this is also different is they've now got 2 on-off switches, so you can isolate each of the drives. So you can essentially use one of the rear wheels as a 2-wheel drive, and then if you want to hobble home, you've got no battery left, you can disengage, turn off the front motors, and you can actually go ahead and just get home in an extra 10k. So the range on this will be around about 30-kilometer range, which is incredible on a 94-kilogram rider. If you just rode it on a flat surface like somewhere in Netherlands and you had it just 2-wheel drive, you get an extra 10 to 12 k's, you get to 42-kilometer range, and you'd also probably increase that range by 20% by doing that. The feeling on these is incredible. It's all Skeletored. You'll see in the corner here the other culprits. They're all solid. They're saying they're CNC milled, but only portions of it are CNC milled. The most of the parts aren't. They're forged. They're solid, as you can see, flat A-frame, A-bars on the bottom, arms, and these arms on the EkeMobile are all hollowed and Skeletored, giving less weight, another 2 kilos lighter, so they can improve the size of the 6.3, 6.8 motors. They've got the crimson alloy spin on them, like a disc mag on a car, red alloy. All the parts on this are anodized. They're like electromagnetic anodized. So they're not painted. The other companies sort of spray and they dip them, or they oven baked kind of finish. But this is the real thing, anodized. All the black. All the arms in here are black matching. It's just a beautiful setup. The pistons and struts on these particular shocks are from the States. They're coil over oil. They are the best. They are just all anodized. Everything on it is just incredible. With your new red anodized bolts on here, it's just beautiful. So top speed 55 kilometers per hour. Range, as I said, you can disengage the front drive or back drive. We get longer range, 40 kilometers or 30 kilometers on the four-wheel drive. Hill climb 60%. It's ridiculous. I'll take it up the big hill I've got here and we'll check out that. It's just going crazy. Apparently in high speed, 4 speeds, you can't even get the throttle halfway. It's that powerful, so we'll check that out. It's like the Discovery HSE. When I think of a board, I always like to match with a car. And when we look at the HSE, it's aesthetically beautiful, but it really performs incredibly off-road. This looks like it's a street urban crossover, but put the big 10-inch knobbies on it, this thing will outperform anything. You don't get sand in the belts like a Baja, you don't get grass caught in, you have to hose them out. It's an IP56, you can hose underneath the bottom of this thing on the wheel areas, and don't have to worry about anything, or sealed planetary gearing. It is a beautiful board. The lighting system is independently with its own little, basically its own switch on here, powered by its own battery pack, which gets you a ridiculously 5-hour range on that battery, flashing different oscillations for red, front, back, turning the whole thing. It's just a beautiful piece of engineering. So when you look at the history of what happened and the competitors out there and what you're looking at, it's horses for courses. You really get what you want and what you need. But this is really ticking all the boxes for me because it's a smaller, lighter board. 24 kilos. It's certainly you can carry that downstairs or where you need to put it around something. It's just a beautiful board. Okay, the EkeMobile, for example, if you want to look at that one, it's about $700 cheaper. It's not a great deal of money, $700. When you look at, it's got solid, not honeycomb, but solid urethane tires with foam in it that does not cut it on sand and grass. I'm telling you, you need air pneumatics like this at 36 PSI. That just flies over all-terrain so much better. That's a big disadvantage. I think with the other model, it's a shame they didn't go the pneumatic tyre on the new M24, but that's what they've done. I think all in all, the remote, this is something extraordinary. The feel and the grip of this thing is ergonomically perfect. It is absolutely beautiful. It's made of like you swear it's metal. It's like a carbon fibre Bakelite. It's similar to what Stacey Peralta has on his kicktails. It's like you've got a hacksaw it, and it literally is a Bakelite carbon fibre finish, and you squirt it with fish oil, WD-40, and just clean it. So it's got to be, it's not plastic. This is the feel on the throttle is just beautiful. So let's just listen to it. Now I'll show you what you can do by turning one side on, just the one side. You can hear it now. It also auto kickstart. You can see that you can just get, I better turn the remote on would help, wouldn't it? So you can see that, you can actually just use the one drive. Now that's actually pretty incredible for a planetary gearing. Listen to that. So the braking is just beautiful. So, it is pretty quiet. It's for planetary gearing, it's ridiculously quiet. So obviously when both wheels are going, you can hardly hear it. Belt's more noisy. So I'm really impressed with the finish on this. They listen to what people have been giving them the feedback. And if you want to get one of these things, you can get it from the website at EkeWill. or you can go to where the Australian distributor rights are on the Central Coast, instant gratification, pick it up, walk out the door with it, and see Reese up there at Phaser FPV. They've got test boards to ride. You can have a ride, take it out for an hour, even loan it for an hour or whatever, and ride it. They've got 3 or 4 up there. X-Stock in Sydney is available, and they do ship Australia wide. If you're international, you want to get it from Australia, they do that as well. Warranty, I think, is 12 months. I'll double check that in the description field. And any issues you have with warranty or service or repairs, all done out of Phaser FPV on the Central Coast in conjunction with EkeWill head office in China in Shenzhen. So this is a big company. This is a big product. This is, I think it's actually outperforms better than a Baja board. I've ridden a Baja board. They're very cumbersome. They don't turn as well. This, when they're loose up, they turn pretty well. You're not going to get the same turn as a street wheel or an all-terrain Evolve. Of course you're not going to get that. But where you're going to excel is the beach riding in the grass, uphill 60% on grass. This will take that. You've got to hold the front of this thing when it goes, because it'll take any hill and it just keeps going. All the parts are aircraft grade 6061. It's not a 7075 alloy, which is a stiffer, harder, probably a slightly stronger alloy, but the 6061 is a sweet spot. It has a bit of flex to it, so it doesn't snap. It's also a little bit lighter, and it's all, as I said, anodized and through the whole frame with even the black, the whole thing. It's just a beautiful piece of engineering. You're paying about $4,000 for this. If you want to look at the EkeWill, it is actually only $700 less. There's not a lot of difference when you look at the non-pneumatic tires and the distance on here, the better battery setup, and the fact you can disengage each drive. Why would you pay $700 less for having that? You just go a bit more and get this. It's got a beautiful free kick to it. You can spin these wheels pretty good, so they're actually not a bad idea. When you are in the rear wheel drive only or 2-wheel drive, you can really get a lot more Ks out of the battery by not providing the power to the front 4-wheel drive setup. It is just beautiful. So let's have a look at it. I'll pick it up. You can see for yourself. It's you can definitely pick it up, spin it around. It's not it's heavy, but 24 kilos is pretty brilliant. This is the actual probably thumbnail. I'll do this now. So yeah, it's beautiful. The under casing is all done with a solid alloy as well, with all sealed underneath, completely around the edge with rubber, completely waterproof. So it is beautiful. It is really a gorgeous board. So if you're really on the market of getting one of these all-terrain crossroads, the benefit here, I would say, is you've got the optional 10-inch wheels knobby, you've got the bigger clearance, you've got the disengaging both motors, you've got the 30Q 10S 10P, got the built-in lights on. They're nearly 2.5 to 3,000 lumens. It's just ridiculous, and it really is. I'll just turn the front light. Right, there we go. And the rear lights are red, as you can see here, and they also oscillate to a flashing one on the back as well. Look, this is bang for buck. This is for $4,000. You can't buy a Land Rover HSE, but you can buy the Land Rover of the off-board electric skateboard all-terrain with the options that I talked about and all the finish refinement. When you ride one of these or turn up at a group ride, this is going to turn heads. This in $4,000 isn't much. And you look at a set of golf clubs, a good set probably costs $4,000. Yeah, 4 speeds. So rider payload is 150 kilograms. So if you're a big guy, this is the board for you. It'll take you like a rocket. It is just insanely powerful. You've got the 5-amp charger, which will give you a 2.5 charge time. These independent shocks are absolutely insane. They're coil over oil. They're made in Taiwan, where some of the best stuff being made in terms of radiators and shocks are made at the moment. They just turn so easily and beautifully. All anodized, all electroplated. This is the best. This is one of the nicest feel. When you get these shocks, they just bounce. You can hit virtually a root that big and you won't feel it. This is actually a really nice setup on these particular shocks. All the anodides on the top plate there with the bolts in red just finishes off beautifully. It really is a gorgeous board. And basically the design of these cross arms, the A-arms are all skeletored out and they're all hollowed like I think of this as a Terminator, this thing. I'm nicknaming that a Terminator 2. And it's all skeleted out on this particular EkeWill, so you got less weight. That's the extra 2 kilos they're dropping for the more work on the motors. Don't you love the way the bell housing spins inside there like Iron Man, crimson anodized coating, just beautiful. I mean, that's such a head turner. That's the bell housing and the rotor going around, being exposed. It's just a piece of precision. I just love this thing. It's just beautiful aesthetically to look at. Okay, so in summing up, basically you're talking about 3,000 watts per motor. That's 12,000 watts all round. That's like 16 horsepower, 16 cowboys riding past on horses. It's a very powerful unit in a pocket. Really nice system of a really reasonably portable board. So look, that pretty much covers today's unbox. Have a look at. I'll get out and have a ride of it. This will be a short ride. I'm going to go to Manly Quarantine Centre and get the drone up. It'll be epic. I'll let you know the difference between the one I rode before. It's certainly quieter. If you want to get one of these, like I said, check out the website below, Phaser FPV in Sydney at Central Coast, and talk to Reese. Or if you're overseas, you can also go through there, or from EkeWill head office on the website. Pick up one of these babies. They are actually one of the ones you must have in your quiver. This is the one that you'll take any condition, any time, any day. I'll get it on the beach and get some shots up on the Gold Coast in a couple of months, so we'll really trial it, push it, and I'll tell you what I think when I come back. We've got the long range distance test, the hill climb test, and the speed and sprint test on it. 55 k's an hour, that'll be so much fun. Guys, thanks for joining me on today's video. I can't thank you enough for coming along and looking at the EkeWill. This is by far one of the nicest production high-end boards coming out at the moment, and we're getting the Zool board coming, which will be great. It's going to be coming very soon, so make sure you subscribe, push that notification bell. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, happy skating, safe skating. Andrew Penman signing off. Okay guys, here we are with the first ride on the EkeWill GTX 4-wheel drive Planetary gearing. Check it out. Look at that. Unbelievable. 24 kilos. 24 I'm actually on level 2. So we'll test it, we'll go for a ride. I'll do a quick little speed test at level 2. This is an amazing ESC, and I'll talk to you a bit about the ESC when I actually get off it, and we'll have a talk about what it actually does. Fortunately, I got caught in the rain, as you can see. It's only a light shower, but it's a good testimony to this board to see it's actually nearly waterproof. Should do it. The road's pretty wet, but this should do it. Wow, I'm so impressed with this board. Really nice. It's like driving a car. Okay guys, I've been riding this thing for about an hour and a half now. I got caught in the rain at Manly. It just, waterproof is unbelievable. You can see the water here, it's kind of everywhere. This thing is just a beast. It's like a stylish Cheshire cat, and then you go ahead and open its mouth and it's like a lion. Unbelievable. Right through water then. Okay, so with a 10S 10P Samsung Q, this has only used up 1 bar in about 18 kilometers. It's pretty crazy. I'll get some speed up on here now. It's got so much power, it's just ridiculous. This is now about 50 k's an hour. Yeah, it's got a FOC, Field Orientation Control Custom ESC from Solution Inc. It's just beautiful. It actually supplies the right amps to the motors. It needs to be a sophisticated custom build like this, because look at the mud over my hands. Check that out. This is an off-road beast. Let's head back to Manly. I want to get some drone footage of the wharf and some photos of this board, but there it is. As you see, you've got to ride with your back foot straight all the time. I'm hitting a hill now at about 50 k's an hour. It's 23% easy. Check it out. Look at this. It's winding. I'm only 3/4 in 3rd speed. Friggin' crazy. Love it. Okay, that's speed 3, and it was only 3/4. So this is a beast. This is just crazy. Okay, my opinion on this, let me talk about. Okay, this is much better than the Lingyi that's out there in the other sort of, you know, the other versions of this, which aren't the original. This Solutions Inc., the Square Wave, is just incredible. It is actually a custom for the particular board, this particular speed control. It's all custom, adjustable brakes. It is, look, you've got to lean forward on this thing. You've got to lean with your back foot dead straight all the time, because this thing has a bite all the time, and it needs to, because it's got full planetary gearing. So far, once you get, it's like breaking in a wild horse. Once you get used to it and you know it, it's going to be unbelievable, because what you'll need that power for is on the grass, the sand, and the all-terrain. So that's where it comes into its own. So far, incredibly impressed. It is really a good buy for $4,000. You know, only about 1,500 more than an Evolve or those things. You're getting a complete sophistication build of planetary gearing. It's another level. I keep saying that, but these levels are bumping up all the time in this industry, because it's changing as we speak all the time. If you're into off-road riding, you're into serious high quality build, it's like the it's pretty much like, I keep saying, I value it like a car, and it's like the Land Rover HSC. It looks aesthetically beautiful, look at it, and yet it's absolutely powerful. It really performs off-road incredibly. So there you go, that's today's first shot. We'll get the drone up now, have some rides, and let's go riding. Seriously? It eats grass for breakfast. This thing is in level 2, half speed. Didn't even have the trigger down half. So this definitely is a beast on the grass. This is an all-terrain urban wheel. It's not your real knobby tyre. If you get a 10-inch knobby tyre on this, it'd be amazing. It could just take on anything. It rides incredibly, absolutely beautiful. Now I've loosened up the trucks in the springs and the oil over coil. It definitely cars even better. I'll make sure even it's looser again, so I can do a really straight U-turn in the street. So far this thing is unbelievable. It's about to pour down. I'm gonna get back to the car. I'm sorry I couldn't get any more drone, but this is it for today. We got 6 days of rain. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, I have to tell you that if you want to get the GTX 4WD Planetary gearing EkeWill, this thing is an absolute beast, and I can thoroughly recommend it based on this planetary gearing. How smooth is that? It's amazing, even down to this tiny little pieces they put into the air filler on the side of the tube. Just precision built. 2-wheel drive, 4-wheel drive, you can back your options. There it is, EkeWill, 23 kilos, pretty good. Bush Basher, Outback Beast. It's your Discovery Land Rover HSC. It's brilliant. Till next video, guys, stay safe. I'll put this down. Stay safe. Stay happy staying, safe staying. We'll see you next video. Andrew Penman signing off.